Alright, this is day 10. Two hash and this one. It says there someone dot plots and these call these boxing whiskers graphs. The box plot showing data for two coefficients and the ages of the patients. So coefficient A, coefficient B. First of all, this is some things you need to know, okay? Like the range. The range is found by subtracting the maximum minus the minimum. So the range is the max minus the minimum. So like A here would be, okay, so penetration A would be the range would be 16 minus 3. So 16 minus 3 gives me 13. So the range would be 30. For penetration B, his range is from 15 to 1. So his range is 15 minus 1, which is 14. So as you can see, the range for penetration B is more than penetration A. This part here, this is called the first quartile. Okay, first quartile. This one here is called the second quartile, or mean. And then this one here is called the third quartile. Now, another one you need to know is the interquartile. Interquartile. The interquartile is the third minus the first. So interquartile is the third quartile minus the first quartile. And so let's look at the statement here, the question. Which statement is best supported by the information in the box plots? Okay, the ranges of ages for penetration A is equal to the range of ages for penetration B. Well, we have the range right here. Are they the same? We can see they're not. One's more than the other. It says equal. They're not equal. The first quartile of ages for penetration A is equal to the first quartile. So first quartile for both of them. So I'm going to highlight them here. This is the first quartile right here. And this is the first quartile here. Are they the same? No, he's 5 and he's 6. So that's not the same. Look at the next one then. The median age for penetration A is less than the median age for penetration B. Well, the median is this guy here. You said the median is this guy. Is this less than this? So this one's 9, this one's 7. I think that the median for here, A is 9 and B was 7. So is 9 less than 7? Plain simple question. First quartile, I forgot to mention here, first quartile was 5 for this guy. And for the quartile for B was 6. So are they equal to each other? Yes. Third quartile of ages here. So the third quartile is for A is greater. Well, for penetration A, third quartile is 11, and for penetration B, the third quartile is also 11. So these are actually equal. And I think here they made a mistake on one of these choices because none of them are true. None of them are true. Yeah. So just leave it like that. But at least it explains what every single category you need to know. Like the range, first quartile, is this the first line, the outer of the rectangle. That's the first quartile. third quartile, the last one, the last edge of the routine. The median, second quartile, and you want to find the interquartile range. That's the difference between the first and the third. Let's go to the next. It says, this one goes as the following number one. If pediatrician A accepts a new one-year-old patient, which of the following would be a true statement? And so, let's see what happens. A. So let's say A here gets a one-year-old. These are the ages. Let's say they get a one-year-old patient. Well, that means that this is going to go from here to here now. Now, what's going to change? Well, what's going to change is the range. The range is going to change. Well, how does the range change? Well, think about it. Now it's going to be 16. Instead of 16 minus 3, it's going to be 16 minus 1. And so, look here. And so what happens to the range? Well, the range is going to be 16 minus 1 is equal to 15. And so, think about what happened. Maybe we can answer the choice there. What happened to the range? Did it increase or decrease? For pediatrician A, remember that. The first one out. Pediatrician B begins accepting older patients, ages 16 to 17. Which of the following is not true? Okay, so again, we go back to the graph. Now, the range for the pediatrician B is going to have patients all the way over here. So that means this is going to go more extended this way. And so what happens to his range? Well, think about it. Look at his range. His range was 14 because it was 15 minus 1. 15 minus the 1. But now he's going to go all the way here to have new patients that can be 16 or 17 of age. And so now think there. Well, now 17 is the max. The minimum is still 1. So, but now 17 minus 1. So that's 17 minus 1. And so now his range would be 17 minus 1. Okay, how does that change? Number 4. It says the dot plot shows the test grades for 2 different teachers. Again, you have to first thing I will do here is put a number on top of this. 2 here, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. Now, one thing they can ask you here is, okay, are they symmetrical? Okay. And I think that's what F, look at F, it says, are they symmetrical? Now you're going to say, okay, are they symmetrical? Well, if they're symmetrical, that means that I should be able to fold this in half and I should see the same image on both sides. Like if I fold this in half and I have the same thing on both sides, the same amount of points or dots on each side, then it's symmetrical. Same thing here. If you fold this in half and you have the same number of dots on each side in the same position, then it's symmetrical. That's what symmetry is. And another thing they can ask you for is the mode. Okay, the mode is, of course, the most. Okay. So which one repeats the most? Well, I look at Jacob's. His mode is equal to, okay, there's 2, 1, 2, 4. 4 is the biggest one. 4 is the biggest, so then his mode is 80. What's Kelly's mode? 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. The biggest one. So his mode, or her mode, is 92. That's the one that repeats the most. When the mode means the most, or one that repeats the most. And now, another thing they're going to ask you is, what's the median? The one in the middle. So to find the one right in the middle, you have to cancel from each side until you get to the middle, like here. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. And so the median here would be 80. And so my median is equal to 80. That's the median. One in the middle. And then look here in this other one. Let's look at the median for this guy here. Okay? Again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1 here, 1 here. And I'm eliminating until I get to the middle. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And so the median here, the median is equal to 84. And so then I can answer the question. Well, if, obviously they're not symmetrical, because we don't have the same thing on both sides. The median test is the same. If you get the median test the same, look, the median is not the same. Mrs. Kelly's range, we forgot the range. So how do you find the range? You subtract. Range is the max minus the minimum. Okay. So what's the range for Mr. Jacob? Well, 90 minus 72. So 90 minus 72. So the range here, so the range is equal to 18. Okay. And now let's find the range for Mr. Kelly. His range is, his max is 92 and his minimum is 70. So 92 minus 70 is, so his range is equal to 20. And so now say is the median. So now, okay, we already did the median test grade is the same. We saw the median is here. Mr. Kelly's class has a smaller range than Mr. Jacob's. When Mr. Kelly, the range was 18. I'm sorry, Mr. Kelly's the best. Mr. Kelly's is 22, and Mr. Jacob is 18. So I can see that that's not true because Mrs. Kelly's is 22. Okay. And Mr. Jacob's is 18. So 22 is not less than or smaller than 18. The median is not the same, and then the last one says the mode. The mode test grade for Mr. Jacob's class is greater than the mode for Kelly. So what's the mode for Jacob? Okay, the mode is 80. So his is 80 and Kelly's is 92. So 80 is greater than 92. Well, you should know that that's not true. And this is another question that has all of them are not true. And so just leave it like that. None of them are true. There's a mistake here somewhere. But none of them give you the correct answer. But at least it helped us to explain how to find each one. How to find the mode, the range, how to find the median. Okay, let's go into the 5. Below are 3 statements. For both classes, which statements appear to be true. Okay. The range of test grades are greater in Mr. Kelly's class than Mr. Jacob's. Okay, so look at the range. Mrs. Kelly. So look at Mrs. Kelly, was the range. Mrs. Kelly was 92, the range, and Mr. Jacob was 18. So Mrs. Kelly was 22 and Jacob was 18. The range of test grades are greater in Miss Kelly's than Mr. Jacob. Well, that's true. 23 is bigger than 18. Let's look at the mode. There's the mode. The mode for Jacob's is 80. Kelly is 92. So 80, 92. And so the mode for Kelly's is 92. And for Jacob was 80. The mode, I guess, is greater. Is that true? The 92 is greater than 80? Yes, it is true. And it says Mrs. Kelly and Mr. Jacob had equal number of students. Let's see if they have the equal number of students. We can get a total. We have to get a total.